Let's take a look at myself. Ooh, big sexy. Yes, sir. All right. Do you consider yourself to be a sociable person? If no, I'm sorry you feel that way, or congratulations. If yes, then I'd like to follow up with another question. You ever join a group mid-conversation or leave it long enough for the masses to go off on a tangent that some way, somehow, always comes back around to that one topic that you just can't stand? Then you're like me. You hate Sonic the Hedgehog. Welcome, brother. We've missed you. Honestly, though, if you actually hate Sonic, DM me, twin. Before you kill me, I'd like to disclose something. Today we are not discussing the differences or shortcomings of the Sonic mainline games or any of that because I don't care, nor have I ever cared, and I will not care, ever. I also have not played enough Sonic to be an expert in that field. And I've been instructed by Noodle, the GOAT, that I should not argue against something without clearly allowing the audience I'm trying to reach and or piss off in on the bit. Another thing I should start with is allowing for discussion. This isn't a one-sided persuasive essay. This is a safe space. While I despise your game, I understand where you are coming from. And to prove that I'm fair, I'm allowing one Sonic enjoyer representative to speak on behalf of all Sonic enjoyers around the world. Live, reporting from the Den of Hedgehogs, is Damien, accompanied by a well-respected member of the cult, who goes by the code name Odwin. He's going to clue us in on everything the Sonic games has to offer. Damien, take it away. Thanks, Czar. I'm here with Big Sexy. The people want to know. They say you're the expert. If you had to be taken advantage of, physically and mentally, by a female character in the Sonic universe, who would it be and why is it Rouge the Bat?
For a nigga that don't like Sonic, you know too much.
I, known music maker and game enjoyer, found myself hanging out online with other prospective music makers and game enjoyers a lot more than usual around late 2017. That's when I met Odwin Beats and began frequenting cool people clubs known as private Discord calls. That's funny. Through that connection, I got tapped in with Noise, Cairo, Shiga as a whole collective, Pedro, Peter, Sade, the list goes on. I met a whole lot of fucking yappers. That's the the point. And I found myself talking to them a lot. Yo, it's getting hot. Yeah, how am I get naked? The internet's a wild place, man. I joined servers looking for acknowledgement on my music, and I found a bunch of friends along the way. Hobby after hobby, interest after interest, bar for bar. The new friends I was making were more like me than me, except for one little defect. For some odd reason, surrounded by all these people, there were times where I would feel excluded. You may be asking yourself, but Bizarre, how could you feel excluded? You had perms to join the private Discord calls. First of all, I'm just like that. Second, this isn't the type of exclusion I'm talking about. I'm talking about a knowledge check. See, when two people share the same one interest, but one person has more knowledge about the subject, both parties can benefit from the interaction. One person teaches, the other learns, right? They both now have the same information, and when it's brought up again or researched further, they'll forever share that link. Now, when three people don't share the same one interest, but two of the three or more people do share the same one interest, and the outlier just so happens to share enough interests, plural, that aren't specifically this one interest, things get wicked. The outlier interest has become the norm and you've been outmoded. Or something along those lines. I think I wrote that crazily, but basically you no longer have fucking stake in the conversation. No longer needed to keep the conversation afloat, and for that reason, a lesser friend. One could say a lesser being, shaken at the very thought of being worthless. You shrink, your tattered soul beaten and bruised, your psyche blue, your spirits black. Have you ever heard of Pearl Abyss's critically acclaimed 2014 action MMORPG Black Desert? No? Well, let's imagine that we're friends, me and you, and there are two of me. 10 seconds ago, we were just talking about why Tim Cook is the GOAT, and out of nowhere, Bizarre Good Boy 1 hits you with that Pearl Abyss spiel. Bizarre Good Boy 2 joins in, and he's like, man, I love Black Desert. I have 20,000 hours in it, man. Did you get the new Berserk collab? Griffith did nothing wrong. And you're stun-locked, unable to speak, unable to contribute anything meaningful to the conversation that the Bizarre Good Boys are having. How would that make you feel? Excluded. I imagine that you think the simple fix is just to play Sonic. You'd be right. But the same goes the other way. They won't play my game, so why should I play theirs? Childish? Perhaps. I'd like to consider it standing on business. and sticking to the bit. I genuinely have not played much content of the Sonic games that I've come across in my life. The footage you see behind me is the only game that I vividly remember and can actually remember memories from. I would say I enjoyed my time in it though. And get this, I don't own it. And to any federales listening, come get me. Got a Gen 5 with a binary trigger with monkey nuts on it. I tend to actually forget the other titles given that they're associated with an already faded and hazy memory. And I don't enjoy a conversation being derailed into a 3-hour discussion about shit I don't nor ever will care about. Above all, I'm sticking to the bit. As serious as I am about the social aspect, I sort of Pavlov trained myself to respond in the most over-exaggerated negative ways at the very mention of Sonic. All because I thought it was a funny way to exit the conversation. In recent years, I've gone as far as to coin the S word as if it was a slur. I hate Sonic forever, and you should too. Subscribe for more content like this, leave a like, and comment your favorite games that you use to exclude your friends. Wacky links in the description, y'all be easy.